Hello everyone, today I will introduce the assembly process and basic operation of the portable 4 tester to you. The entire portable 4 testing kit consists of 2 boxes. One is the main box of the instrument. The other one is the test accessory box. Now let's proceed with the preparations before the test. First, take a look at the accessories inside the box. The accessory box contains connection cables for 2 sets of components. You can choose to use it according to the actual situation on site. One group is that the standard interface can directly connect to the standard components. The other group consists of crocodile clips, which can be directly used to measure the circuit strings or the return boxes. This part is the radiometer. When using it, you need to unscrew the protective cover on top. This part is a suction cup type backplate temperature stabilizer. This part is the component temperature sensor. The 2 below are a regular line and a combined public line. Next, we will demonstrate the preparations for the test and the connection of the components. First, install the radiation meter. The radiation meter we use is of the external clamp type and is fixed in place. Installation method: install the radiation sensor next to the component. By adjusting the length of the bottom screw, it can be directly clamped next to the component. After clamping, tighten and secure. Ensure that the radiometer and components are at an inclined angle and lie on a single plane. After installation, remove the protective cover on the radiation meter. Take out the wire with the blue plug terminal from the box and attach it to the radiation meter. There are 3 slots on this terminal. Then we unscrewed the connection terminals of the radiation meter and connected them to the interface. It can be seen that there are 3 corresponding raised sections inside. Then we must align this 3 recessed sections with this raised part. Insert the gray mark downward into the radiation meter and then tighten it. The front end of the radiation meter has been installed. Now let's talk about the installation of the backplate temperature sensor. First, take out the suction cup, and then find the connection line of the back temperature sensor from the box. Find the end with the temperature measuring terminal and insert it from this position on the suction cup. Attach the assembled back temperature sensor including the suction cup directly to the bottom of the component. Then press it down with your hand. Next, press down on the black terminal of the suction cup all the way. And this completes the installation of the component temperature sensor. Take out the 2-in-1 fair line from the box. Then insert the newly assembled radiation meter and the back temperature sensor in the corresponding positions. Connect the 2 sets of sensors to the corresponding slots and insert them into the 2-in-1 common line. After insertion, tighten it. At this point, the radiation sensor and the back temperature sensor have been assembled successfully. Now, let's talk about the connection method of the component power cords. Today, we are demonstrating a standard component, so we are using a standard component interface. It is divided into 2 lines. The red and yellow lines are the positive poles that connect to the main component board of the panel. The black and green line indicates connection to the negative terminal. Next, I will demonstrate how to connect. Identify the positive and negative poles of the components, and connect the red and yellow poles to the positive terminals properly. The black and green connected negative electrode. With the power supply and ground wires for this component connected, we have completed the assembly. Next, let's talk about the panel of the tester. The 4 colors above represent the interface of the component power supply. The 3 interfaces on the left side are the interfaces for the temperature and radiation sensors. In the middle is the Type-C interface, which is used for charging this instrument. The USB interface is used for exporting data. On the right side is a function key area, and on the upper side is a touchscreen display screen. Before conducting the test, you need to turn on the instrument first. Press the rightmost power button. The device will automatically turn on and enter the test preparation interface. Next is the wiring and pricing process. The wiring of the component part must be inserted only when the instrument is turned on. Insert connection lines corresponding to the colors. Then, insert the end of the 2-in-1 public line into the instrument interface. Then we can see that the data shows that the status of the probe is connected. All the preparatory work for the initial stage has now been completed. Now we move on to the official testing phase. First, the display interface of the instrument is also the test interface. There are 3 menus that can be switched by touching the screen. On the far left is the curve, in the middle is the power generation volume, and on the rightmost is the system settings. Curved interface. At the top, you can see that the probe is already connected. The probe is connected to the radiation meter, and the backplate temperature. Temperature displays the real-time temperature of the component, and also the irradiance. After connection, both of these 2 pieces of data can be viewed. In the middle is a curved reaction chart. On the left is current, on the bottom is voltage, and on the right is power. Let's mainly talk about this part on the right. There are test options on the upper side. Clicking on them will allow you to conduct the test directly. The following options can be selected by clicking. Below this is the feedback on the test results. Now, let's first give a brief demonstration of a single test. After ensuring that all the connecting parts have been properly connected, a single test can be conducted directly. The touchscreen direct click test will immediately provide the feedback result. Including voltage, maximum current, power, fill factor, etc., will all be displayed. The default test mode of the instrument is a single test mode. We recommend that the minimum interval time should be 1 minute. After the results of the single click test are obtained, make sure to click the test again 1 minute later. This is a protective function for the instrument. If you want to conduct consecutive tests, wait for 1 minute first, then check the box for consecutive tests and then click test. At this point, the test status shows normal, meaning it is in a continuous testing state. The default continuous testing interval for the instrument is 1 minute. The interval time can be set according to different requirements in the system settings. STDC conversion, STTC, is equivalent to a standard curve. The environmental factors of the measured solar panel are substituted into the STTC standard curve, and a data comparison is conducted. Through this data comparison, the actual power and degradation situation of the panel can be determined. Then let's talk about the simple calculation function for generating power. First, open the power consumption interface, then check the continuous mode and click the test. The continuous pattern here is the same as the previous curve's continuous pattern. The time interval is 1 minute. The time interval can be adjusted according to the actual situation, but the fastest frequency is once every minute. Wait for it to make a simple estimation. Now we have received the feedback results. After the test is completed, please make sure to click the test option to stop the test. The test status will be displayed as stopped. Finally, by clicking on System Settings, You can set the time and also configure the time interval during the measurement process. The rightmost side allows for language settings. The entire demonstration operation process of this instrument has now been completed. Exporting measurement results. Before exporting the measurement results, you must insert the USB drive into the device. The screen will indicate that the USB drive is connected. Then, we click on Data Export, and the device will automatically start the export process. Once the export is complete, the device will give a prompt. After the equipment test is completed, when unplugging the connection cables, please note that after each test is completed, the connection lines of the components must be unplugged while the instrument is turned on. There is no specific requirement for the order of unplugging. After unplugging, remove the 2-in-1 connection cable, which is the connection line for the radiation meter and the backplate temperature sensor. Finally, shut down the device by pressing the button on the right side. The demonstration of the instrument operation procedure is complete.